my initial reaction to this, as is everyone, is it's pretty outrageous that you would not vote in the greatest coach of all time, an 8-time Super Bowl champion, if you combine his head coaching and his defensive coordinator with the Giants. And my thought is that it was a statement from the voters, right? Basically, I think it's one where the voters, if it's the cheating scandal, that's understandable, right? Because, you see this in baseball all the time where, they don't even allow people to make it into the Hall of Fame because of some of those, player enhancement drug situations. But my thought is that the NFL already, made a statement about the cheating situations and the spying and the Deflategate and all of that stuff, right? They already made a statement by suspending Bill Belichick, suspending Tom Brady, fining the team, the players. They did all of that. They didn't take away the Super Bowls. That is something that they decided not to do. But the Hall of Fame, it's not the NFL's Hall of Fame, it's the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and so they get to decide how they want to handle things their own way. And my guess is that a lot of people voting thought that maybe, it's a sure thing he's going to get in, so I'm going to take my one vote and vote for someone else. And more than 11 people, decided to do that, right? He fell short of the 40 out of 50 votes needed to make it into the Hall of Fame on first ballot. So we know that at least 11 people didn't vote for him. That's my hope, right? My hope is that they thought that he was going to get in, everyone else was going to vote for him, and so they decided to, vote for someone else given his cheating situation and maybe the respect for what Tom Brady was able to do. The other side of that is the media side of it. The side that he wasn't nice to the media, that he, was a little rude and harsh, and people thought, took that as sort of a personal, just hate on the guy. Personal hate on Bill Belichick. And so he, they said, I'm not going to vote for him because I don't like the way he respected me. That argument is a completely BS argument. That argument is an argument that I don't care whether, the spy situation, you can argue that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame first ballot because of that. The just rudeness or just the way he, quote-unquote, treated the media, that's an argument that I don't want to see anybody using that as their argument. And nobody's going to come out and say that they voted for, or they didn't vote for Bill Belichick. In fact, people have come out and said they have voted for Bill Belichick. I'm sure most of those are lies. I'm sure, not most of those are lies, because we know it's most likely most people voted for him. I guess we don't really know for sure. But that being said, right, we don't actually have an idea on how many people didn't vote for him. And so when people come out and they say, oh, I voted for him, we don't know that for sure. My last thing on this, because quite frankly, I don't really want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about the Drake May thing. I don't want to talk about the Bill Belichick thing. Two sort of stupid, sort of basically takeaways from, or two stupid, conversations that are derailing us from the actual, situation at hand, which is the fact that the Patriots are headed to the Super Bowl. But the last thing I want to say is that if you're using the cheating situation as the way to not vote him in, then I'd argue Tom Brady shouldn't be in there, because Tom Brady played a big role in the cheating situation as well, right? He got suspended for 4 or 5 games, whatever it was, back in 2019, I believe it was, right? But he definitely did not, have no role in this situation. So if you're going to, and I know Tom Brady came out and said, actually, matter of fact, here are some of the comments that people said about this, but I know Tom Brady came out and said that he did not agree with this situation. The only thing is he didn't, obviously he didn't include himself, and I think he should have included himself in saying that coaches, should not be in the Hall of Fame, or no coach should be in the Hall of Fame if Bill Belichick wasn't. I think Tom Brady shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, first ballot, if Bill Belichick wasn't. And to be honest, I actually believe that, those two guys shouldn't even be on the ballot. They should be an automatic, just, sure thing that they're in the Hall of Fame, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. And obviously, he's going to get in. But at this point, I actually kind of think that maybe, they shouldn't put, or at least Bill Belichick shouldn't even want to be in the Hall of Fame after this situation. It's such a, a slight or a diss at Bill Belichick that when they announce him next year that he's in the Hall of Fame, I wouldn't even show up if I was Bill Belichick. And already a lot of people are canceling flights this year to go and see the Hall of Fame induction.